If you are possibly struggling with fill-in programs, I don't know, courses, retreats, maybe want to attract the next a bazillion ideal clients, right? If you know you need to gain instant authority and effortlessly overcome that ugly truth of client attraction and avoid the biggest mistakes along the way, oh my gosh, then you need to make sure you stick around to pick up some of these pro secrets and tips that are going to be coming forward in the next 30 minutes. We're going to be talking about the ABCs of building a thriving online business with Barbera Aimes. She is the founder of an online attraction academy. She is a trailblazer in the industry, and she is bringing her A game to the show today. You are not going to want to miss it. So sharpen your pencil, hang around, like get ready to take some massive notes. If you are watching from any other platform, we are on a lot of them. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. If by chance there's a link above you in your feed, go ahead and click that. Come on over here to our platform. We'll be able to see you and see your comments live right here on the show. I'm Erin Strayer, and this show is all about promoting, cultivating, and expanding amazing female entrepreneurs that are out there in the world doing things just a little bit differently. We talk about pain points and hot topics like client attraction, building your business, making money, building your list, the things that we're going to be talking about today. And today, we're going to be giving you workarounds to those challenges on that problem that we face every single day. I am Erin Strayer. Recovering corporates and entrepreneurs hire me to get them business beyond basics because most of them are indecisive. They're held hostage by their own fear. Sometimes that's called a list. And we have settled for average. Like, I just might not need one. I can get by without one, right? We're going to put a hard stop to that today. But for me, bottom line, I provide peak performance scaling strategies for growth-minded entrepreneurs so that you and your business gets the attention to detail it deserves and you start making money in your pocket. You can find me at erinstrayer.com or on any social media platform. So this 7-figure former business owner and now the founder of the Online Attraction Academy, Barbera Aimes, is seriously the queen of attracting an endless flow of ideal clients to the online space. She has trademarked systems that we're going to talk about today, and she has revolutionized the way lists are being built and grown in the industry. You don't want to miss 1 minute of this lady's time and effort. Hello. Thank you for being here, Barbara.
Hi, Erin. Hello, everybody.
Hi. I'm so excited to have you here. I love your energy. I love what you're doing in the world. I love the background that you bring. I love the clients that you treat, and where you're at in your world right now and the focus that you're on and why you do what you do. So I'm so excited to have you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here with you too, because ditto, baby. Ditto, girl. You rock it. You are rock. And it.
Yeah. So super hot topic that you're bringing forward today. And this is your lane. This is everything you do all day long is teach people really how to thrive online in the online business. And you and I are in the same category. We've recreated our worlds. And this is second or third time around for one or both of us.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about that for a second. What that looked like for you, just kind of going back to you had a massive, thriving 7-figure business.
I did. I had a toy company. I made, I made children's toys, cardboard building bricks and ABC blocks and all sorts of creative things like that. And it was, I started it back in the 90s. And, my heart has always been with, green topics, sort of, earth friendly. I've been recycling since I lived in New York City and had to bicycle my cardboard and, cans and things down to a recycling center in Lower East Manhattan. But I decided I kept trying to, and I actually, had all my products that I manufactured were all of earth-friendly sources. So I used recycled cardboard. I worked with a corrugator, and I did all my wooden toys out of rubber wood, which is a renewable
Wow.
source.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to position it as earth friendly. I kept trying to, and by the way, this was way back when the word green was just referring to a color, right? And I kept trying to, like, I would go to Toy Fair every year and I would announce, hey, these are earth friendly toys. And all my customers who were retailers would say, oh, Barb, please don't say that word. And I don't put it on the box, because when my customers see that, they think used and they want it to be cheaper. So I kept testing the market, right? And finally, around 2003, 2004, I was, feeling that there was enough of a movement around environmental, earth-friendly stuff, that I came out and actually had a big, huge banner and called my toys Earth-Friendly Toys. And I happened to just nail it. And because I was at the leading edge of that movement. And I literally founded the category of earth-friendly toys. So now if you go to Toy Fair, there's a whole section of toys that are called earth-friendly toys. And I'm proud to say I was the leader of that. But anyway, I had that business for years, and I sold my toys all over the world. And then the crisis hit, the economic crisis. And the backstory about that a lot of people lost their jobs, of course. And for business owners, we primarily lost our funding for the banks. And an inventory business like a wholesale toy company, we rely on bank funding to buy next year's inventory. Sure. And that just dried up. The banks just said, nope, we're not doing it anymore. And I got by for a couple of years on a loan from Whole Foods, actually lent me $100,000 to keep it going. But eventually I just had to sell the business. And I did. And so then I was like, here I was in my mid 50s, with no business and no income for the first time ever. And I had to reinvent myself. So, it was back then that I said, you know what? I'm going to figure out this internet marketing thing. I don't know what I'm going to sell, but I'm going to figure out how to market it online. And so I spent the next year or two trying to decipher all that. I thought, here's the funny thing, Erin. I said to myself, look, I'm a 7-figure business. I had another multi-6-figure business. How hard could this be, right? Internet marketing. How hard could this be?
How hard could it be?
Well, let me tell you what, don't ever post that question to the universe unless you really want to know the answer, because I struggled for 2 years. I'm very business and marketing savvy at that point. And there was just this slew of information when it comes to marketing yourself or marketing anything online. And I just dove into the pit of endless, hamster wheels of information. But finally, I was able to figure it out. And through that, I was also able to to kind of bite the bullet and decide and discover that I was the most valuable thing I had to sell. And I also fell in love at the same time with the people that I serve now, which is what I call change makers. So people who are hell bent on causing transformation in others, coaches, healers, that sort of thing. And through that whole journey, I fell in love with these people. I saw how desperately they were struggling, because, it's one thing to be able to coach somebody or cause transformation through coaching or healing, but then it's an entirely other thing to have a business and have a successful business. And then you add on top of it that chaos of online marketing. So
I've never been there.
Oh, yeah, sure you have. So I made it my mission to help those people specifically who wanted to create a business online and attract clients online, have that freedom that an online business gives you. And so my mission is to simplify and demystify that process so people don't have to be thrown into the cement mixer that I was. It was just like, what is all this stuff, right?
And it's true, because It's so scary. There's so much out there. Who do you believe? And I'm sure that there's like the number one like biggest mistake that you see people making in your like that come to you. Like I'm sure that there's like one overwhelming
Yep, to 100%. So
biggest
yeah, here's what I see that people are doing. So one of the problems is that the vast majority of programs, courses, et cetera, and how to do this and how to do that, they're all touting a tactic, not a strategy. So there's a big difference between a tactic and a strategy, right? And so most people are jumping into these tactics, how to create a Facebook group, how to do Facebook ads, how to do, right? But they don't have an overall strategy. So by and large, those tactics are not appropriate for the stage that that person is at. And they don't have any overall picture of what they should be working on. So those tactics all fall under the A, B, and C of my ABCs of a thriving online business, right? And there's hundreds of, I don't know about hundreds, but dozens at least of tactics for each step. But if you don't know what step you're in or what step you're missing, you're just like throwing puzzle pieces at a wall puzzle and hoping that something will stick when you really don't have any idea of how they fit together. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So looping back to these ABCs, like let's hit on those. Like,
yeah, let's do it.
Let's hit on those.
So let me. This is my mission in life, Erin, is to simplify and demystify. So everybody, I want you to take out a pen and a paper right now, because this is it. If you want to have a thriving, successful online business, there are only 3 things that you need to master. Okay. And here's the kicker though. You need to master them in the right order. And I'm using the word master because they are skills. They are skills. People forget that, right? People forget that, they think that building a business, there's some magic push button thing. I just need to have a Facebook group and boom, I'll be successful. So here it is, the magic button business, right? But look, I look at business, it's like an Olympic sport. Like if you decided that you wanted to, win a gold medal in gymnastics, there are skills that you have to master. You have to master them in the right order, right? You don't want to be like swinging from the bars like a monkey before you like know how to get down safely or do, I don't know.
Right. Make sure you have a mat.
Yeah, a mat, but you want to pick up some of the basics and you build on the basics and you work up, right? And, people, so really, I want people to know that this is like, winning a gold medal in the Olympics, having a successful business, except it's much more attainable than a gold medal. And it doesn't require any specific physical attributes or any attributes really, because anybody can do it. But here they are, ABC. So the very first thing that you need to master is attract. Attract warm leads. You know how to attract, you need to know how to attract strangers into your business. Now, Erin, this is true for online business or offline, right? So I'll give you an example of an offline business, because sometimes it's easier to wrap our heads around a more brick and mortar business.
Sure.
My husband has an auto repair shop. Okay. And by the way, that was the business that I went in. He was almost had his doors closed, and I went in and was able to, in 9 months, help him turn it around. Wow. And why it almost had his doors closed is he's a wonderful technician, but he didn't at that time know business, right? He didn't know how to run a business. And what he wasn't realizing is that he had no way, once his initial startup where he went and told everybody, all the excitement of, getting customers in, he had no platform, no way for people to find him, new people to find him. And so that's the A in so everybody needs to have that in their business, right? A way, because if he got all his initial clients in and fixed their cars, and now they don't need any work. And so, pretty soon, the work is going down and there's less and less and less customers. Right. And that's when we realize there's no new customers come in. So how do people look for auto repair shops? Well, in this day and age, they look on Google. car repair. We live in Boulder, Colorado, so car repair Boulder. So of course we looked online and we discovered that, he's not ranking at all. Like he was not, I think he was on page 14 or something. So of course he wasn't getting any new customers and his business was drying up. So what we had to do is create a warm lead platform for him, meaning in his world that looked like getting him to rank when people were searching for car repair in Boulder.
Sure.
Okay, so that became his platform. As soon as we did that, the phone started ringing. Hey, do you do brakes? Do you blah, 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 right? Right. So what does that look like in the coaching world? Well, it doesn't look like SEO like it did for my husband's repair shop, right? Because people seldom Google, how to become more enlightened or whatever, how to find how to find my perfect mate, or and then look, here's a coach that'll do that for me. I'll call him right up. No. That's not how we do that, right? So we need to have a warm leads platform that we can use over and over, because and that's also called list building, of course, right? And that is your a way to welcome people into your list, right? And then a way to continue doing that, because list building is not a one and done thing. You need to do it all the time. Right. And so when you mentioned that I have a trademark system, so my system for doing that, I have it's pretty much a revolutionary new way to do that not only builds a list, right? A big list, 500 to 1,000 in one kabami of people who see you as an authority, but it's also something that my clients repeat every 3 or 4 months, and it becomes very easy, very effortless, no cost. And it's a wonderful foundation. So it's the first letter of the ABC. They take care of it, and it's the foundation of their business growth. So A is attract strangers or attract warm leads. You need to have a way that's consistent and reliable. So B is, now that you've attracted these warm leads into your community, your sphere of influence, you need to build a relationship with them.
And I think this is, like, for me, where I see people dropping the ball all the time.
Big time. I see the two big mistakes here. So A, when most people think of marketing, they think of the B, building a relationship. So creating content, doing webinars, doing something like your show. This is all building a relationship with people. So I see two big mistakes that people make. First, they're creating a platform for building a relationship with somebody, like a show like yours, but they don't have anybody to build a relationship with. Because they haven't done A first.
Sure.
So I see people blogging, for example, like religiously week after week after week, and they have no subscribers. Well, maybe their mom and a cousin or something.
Right.
And because they forgot to do step A, or they just didn't know to do step A to attract an audience and then build a relationship with them. And then the other mistake I see that people make, the one that you mentioned, is building a list and then just
leaving
I don't know what to say to them.
Right. And I think people struggle with that a lot. Like, okay, well, I brought him in. Now what do I do with him?
Now what do I do?
Hey.
It's funny. I have a 12-week course called Instant Tribe that teaches the list building platform I just mentioned earlier. And sure enough, every time I run this course, at about week 10 or 11, people are all ready to have their list building event, and they can already see that the leads start coming in. And that's the first question they say is, "Oh, what do I do? What do I say to them after this?" And of course, being a good, proper entrepreneur that I am, and coach and guide for people, I say, well, that's in my next course. Then I teach you how to do that in the next course. But yeah, so those are the two big mistakes people make, is they're building a relationship. They're doing marketing activities that are building a relationship, like even having a podcast. People setting up a podcast show when they're just starting out and they don't have an audience. it takes 3 to 5 years for a podcast to organically attract an audience.
Yeah.
So for that 3 to 5 years, you're just broadcasting to nobody, right? Your best friend and your mom, maybe. So a much better strategy is to build that list first, then create some kind of a nurture thing like a podcast or a blog or your show, or just write emails, for heaven's sakes. You can do that.
Yeah.
And certainly if you have put time, money, and effort into building a list, for heaven's sakes, you got to build a relationship. So that's what people often forget too, is that, so the C, let's jump to the C, is convert, right? So that's converting people, or the sales conversation, making an offer and getting the sale. So those are the 3 things, and you need to have them in that order. So we mentioned the 2 big mistakes, like building a relationship before you've built a list, or building a list and not building a relationship, or another mistake is building a list and then jumping right over to the C.
Right.
Which is kind of like going on the first date and asking the guy if he wants to jump into bed with you now. So, right, people, we forget, but we need to build that relationship with people before we really make an offer. Well, we don't need to, but I think the offer will work out a lot better if
it'll be a much longer term relationship, I think.
Yeah.
Instead of your one night stand.
Instead of your one night stand. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's what we all want. We don't want one night or one timers, right? Like, we want repeat clientele. We want repeat viewers. We want repeat people in our courses. We want people to take that next thing with us. We want people to refer us.
Well, you know what I think it really comes down to more than anything is we want people to want us. We don't want to have to chase people.
Bam!
Ding dong, right? That's it. I call it, Erin, and everything I'm talking about. So it is what I call pull marketing as opposed to push marketing. So push marketing is chasing people. And I don't mean to, it sounds negative when I say that, but I don't mean it to be. And there are plenty of valuable push marketing techniques. They're not my thing, right? That's why I focus on attraction, right? Mm-hmm. So push marketing, for example, is, the offline version of that is, finding people who would be great candidates for your business, for your services, and then going and introducing yourself to them, and then chasing, and it doesn't have to look like people that are really good at this. That doesn't look like chasing at all, right? The online version of that is, I call it trolling. The people who go into Facebook groups and answer questions, which is great. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's a linked selling thing that's tactics that's like that too. You go in and you send contact requests to all, you look for your ideal client in LinkedIn, and then nothing wrong with it again. But to me, that's what I call push marketing. Mm-hmm. Well, myself personally, and people that I work with, we would much rather position ourselves around a problem that our ideal client is struggling with, and put ourselves in that position for people to find us, right? And that's what client attraction is all about. And then, so allow people to find us, right? And it's completely possible, completely doable. Again, following the ABCs. You want to first attract those people, then you want to build the relationship with them, and then you convert them. And if you just follow, so if the viewers, if you think about what kind of marketing tactics you're pursuing right now, and ask yourself, which of those does it fit under? Mm-hmm. And then, so if you're working on like the sales conversation, for example, maybe you're working on perfecting your sales conversation. Well, before you really want to invest a lot of time, money, and energy in that, you want to make sure that you're getting people into that conversation first. That's the outcome of building a relationship. How do you know when you're successful? Well, how do you know when you're successful at A? Well, you have people on your list. If you're successful at attracting warm leads, then you have people signing up for your lead magnet, right? And you have people on your list. How do you know you're successful at B? Well, that usually looks like you're getting people into discovery calls. Mm-hmm. right? And how do you know you're successful at C? Well, that's obvious. You have paying clients, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that what you're working on, you have the foundation before it, the B before the C and the A before the B.
Yeah. Don't put the cart before the horse.
Yeah, don't get your
Like,
letters
don't get it all mixed up.
or you'll be spelling blah, blah, or something. I don't know. It won't be ABC.
It will not come out right any way you cut it.
No.
So I want to jump ahead because we got a couple more minutes left here, and I want to talk about your big list fast.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that because you have this amazing opportunity for people to grab this. This is a freebie, right? Freebie download. And wow, what a resource, first of all, because I checked it out. Right. And like it's really amazing. And there's so many people that are teaching list building, but I think I don't know. I personally would rather learn and take note from somebody that's gone and done it more than once.
Yeah.
In multiple different arenas, right? Like you did it with toys, you did it with automotive, and now you're online, right? Mm-hmm. Massive different industries, all with the same outcome.
But they're all business is business.
Business is
and
business.
Even online business, even though when you get into it to begin with, it just is like this massive confusion. Mm-hmm. And there's just so much information. Do this, don't do that. You need this, you need Facebook, you need blah, 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 blah. And so if when you strip all that down to the ABCs, you realize that it's just the same as any other business. Business is business, which is really just relationship. But the main thing, so what I have is a free report for people. It's how to build a highly responsive list quickly. And here's the difference, Erin, between what I teach and what everybody else is teaching. So there are a lot of different ways out there to build a list. Yes, absolutely. Summits, giveaways. I've seen all kinds of other things. But every single one of them, without exception, is you do this thing and boom, you get a list. But it's this gargantuan big thing. It's either a big Facebook ads, right? It's either a huge investment of time, money, or energy. And, you run around and do all this work and then you never want to do that again, right? Because that was so hard. And that's the thing that is, I want people to really get that list building is not a one and done thing. It's something you need to have a platform for doing constantly all the time. Like for my husband's business, Google was something like that's constantly going, right? And we just have to do a little bit of effort to keep him top of the Google search. Mm-hmm. And I've created an equivalent for online coaches in a platform. And it does really two things. Number one, it makes list building or attracting warm leads an effortless process that you do every couple of months. Number two is that it positions you as an authority. So it's a really strong visibility platform for people, right? And just like your show here is a visibility platform for you and the guests that you invite, this is similarly a visibility platform. And number three, it really sets you up to be JV ready. So JV stands for joint venture partner. So it's really the foundation. And by the way, JV partnerships are the way that you scale your business, right?
Amen.
What's that?
Amen.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so this platform that I've created, this warm lead generating platform, actually also sets you up to be JV ready in the future. So it really accomplishes all those things for you. And that's why I say it's like a really great foundational piece for your business. Mm-hmm. But you can learn about that in that free report about the difference between just a list build method and a lead generation platform in that free report, biglistfast.com.
Yeah. You guys, I can't even begin to tell you what amazing resource this lady is. She came into my world very quickly not too long ago, and I I want more of this lady in my life. I love what she's about. I love the people that she touches. I love how she addresses business, and I love that your focus really is on these ABCs, that they have to be in order, and that the main ingredient is the relationship, which I think is the biggest thing that's missed in multiple other people's teachings. So I want to massively point that out. I want to give you huge kudos for that. It's why I'm attracted to you as a human being, and with what you are doing with your business. I think it's just so essential to have people like you with the same viewpoints, the common ground, the like-minded thought process, and in a lane that's not my expertise, right? Like, that's your expertise. And because of that, I get to highlight you. I get to put you to my tribe. I get to like introduce you to the rest of my people that think like I do. And now you think like we do. And we're all like in this circle together, and together we grow.
Yeah.
Together we grow.
Absolutely. And I think the point that you and I agree on, we agree on all points, but where we really connect is business is relationship, right? That's all it is. Business is just relationship on steroids. And so if anybody watching, a lot of people I notice want to create an online business so that they don't have to talk to anybody. Well, stop. Let me save you some time, money, and effort. Just go do something else, because that's not like online is even more about relationships, right? And it's no matter how you look at, work it, cook it, or stew it, it's all about relationships. So if that's not your thing, like I said, go find something else. But if you're ready to take relationships head on, definitely you're in the right space. And it just looks a little different online is all.
It's for sure. Barbara, I have loved you being on the show today. You guys, seriously, get in this lady's arena, hang out with her, pick up her biglistfast.com. We'll drop this link in the feed as well, so you can just click it and go. Hang out with her, be in her space, pick up on her tricks and tips and massive ways that you can build your list and your relationships in a heartfelt, on purpose, meaningful way, and go forward in the world making massive money. Barbara, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Erin.
See you right back here soon, everybody. Have a great afternoon.